Y'all, infidels. We bomb atomically with Socrates' philosophies. Can't define why I'll be dropping these mockeries, lyrically performed armed robbery. And we're back, infidels, to steal the show with the Friday taping, ultra declassified, early Thursday morning here at Hamin Media Group, patreon.com/Hamin Media Group, twitch.tv/Hamin Media, and Hamin Media Group on Patreon, or excuse me, YouTube. Y'all, we're back with all the headlines early morning, infidels. Let's set it off. Y'all, I don't know where I was going with that one, Stevie. I was all over the place, but good morning to you. Glad to be back in action after having some tech issues yesterday. Thank you very much for being the 24/7 helpline that you always are, the tech master, the black belt, if you will. And that's actually a thing in tech, right? You can earn your black belt and everything. So good to see you, Sifu.
Yeah. Well, I'll try not to say anything during this episode that could get us kicked off or get the video removed. So we'll be speaking in, well, the world is ass backwards. So now we're going to start typing and saying things backwards.
Yeah, man. Codename Divoc. That's my new shit right there. And I may.
I did it wrong here. See, my dyslexia has dyslexia.
Divoc is good too. We'll throw them off. We'll throw them all the way off.
Variant.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's next year is Divoc. So watch out for that, you guys. And I was too hot in my headphones there, so I'm just going to cut it back because I don't need to hear myself all the time. But yeah, it was a big week again this week for Hamin Media Group. Russo brand had a good time doing Master Shoot Theater, getting a little crazy with it, man, for sure. I'm sure the new man, now I can't hear myself hardly at all, so I'm gonna turn it back up, blast myself. All right, just getting things reset here on the Rodecaster Pro, Team Rodecaster, Rode microphones. Shout out to Jason, everybody over there. If you're into podcasting or you want to get into it, there's no better piece of equipment for the price than the Rodecaster Pro. I was having issues with it during Next Level yesterday, but that was because of our good friend Bill Gates' Windows update, and it did something where I had to go in and figure every time now that I'm going to use a Rodecaster to turn on this or turn on that. All technology makes life easier.
I think Bill Gates just brought Spectrum too, because you were completely robotic.
Mr. Roboto, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, they said. They don't want me talking shit about Bill Gates. So,
well, that's true. That's medical misinformation, divorce misinformation, relationship misinformation, whatever you call it. I'm just still, this is where people can get a little bit of advice, since you said I'm the 24/7 tech. I'm using the MacBook Air webcam, which before I was using a DSLR, the cam link connected to the computer wasn't looking into the camera. So there's one advantage of this where I'm not looking like I'm completely disinterested in anything that's being said. I am interested, trust me. But just this webcam here is not that much of a degradation over this. And obviously with my tech knowledge, I have the same issues. So I can't understand why everybody has great quality off this camera using a cam link, but mine looks grainy and pixelated, and a webcam is just as good. So
I just think you make those problems up in your head. You look fine just so you can get new technology.
I look forward to my new microphone coming from
I will put it over though. I've had the 3D printer making parts, man, and they've been coming off clean. A couple clogs, but nothing I didn't catch right away and fix, and I'm happy about it. And see if I can do a little repair for an hour on the other one this weekend and be up and running full capacity. Feels good.
I got a question here in the chat room about Bowflex. Bowflex still makes stuff. They make adjustable dumbbells. They make the tension equipment. I wouldn't buy the dumbbells. I wouldn't buy the all-in-one trainers, but their cardio equipment, the M series, is not that bad. I would definitely invest in one of those. I don't think their new technology. Oh, that's Nordic Track. They got the new mirror thing, which is, I think all those are a complete waste of money. You're spending $2 or $3 grand. And the subscription model, if you stop paying, you can't use it anymore. So you just get yourself a mirror and a pair of dumbbells or something from one of my affiliates.
Unreal. Yeah, absolutely, from one of your affiliates. Those things look like a piece of shit to be smashed or pulled off the wall. Like, How many people got those and they didn't fucking screw them to the stud in the wall and it's going to come
Well,
flying?
that's the work. No, you have to have their technicians come in and attach it to the wall and connect everything. You can't, there's no DIY solution where you get it delivered in assembly or everything from I mean, I understand the technology and all that stuff, but it's a racket. You can actually, they'll probably eventually do what Peloton has done, where I can take my iPad and put it on a regular spin bike and still get the Peloton classes.
Sure.
Same difference. So they'll probably have a thing where you can Chromecast it or something to your television and do the same exact thing you would do watching one of my videos off the website.
Well, I mean, what I hate about it more than anything is it's right out of the first chapter of 1984. It's a virtual workout screen where they can see you and fucking you can go back and forth through it. And, you know, like that's the first steps. And especially that just doesn't make any sense business wise of why you would want to add the overhead of having an installation team and a fucking repair team that you have to pay for off of a single piece of equipment that should just be buy it and then our transactions done. You know what I mean? With like, that just seems like asinine. So why would they do that except to push the Orwellian agenda and fucking be in your house and fucking, you know, like anything? You think that thing's not listening when it's turned off?
Well, there's every single fitness company to some degree that has an app or has something like that. One I used to work for, the opportunity is to sell data. The data mining companies will pay you a lot of money for whatever information you have. That's probably the biggest service with Apple Health is probably the biggest futuristic service that they can leverage, and they're all selling your information. There's nobody that's not selling your information. Maybe not Apple, because they can profit off of their own AI to see how you buy. That's how they price their products. That's how they do everything that they do. But yeah, that's what they're really doing. So whatever you might think with the subscription or the personal trainers or the Peloton stuff, Peloton is a publicly traded company, and part of their assets is your information. Actually, the number one asset is their bike is basically an upgraded Sunny bike off Amazon. That's all it is.
And I there's plenty of things if you want to ghetto rig it just to go on YouTube. There's plenty of bikers who've done long 25-minute rides to the Swiss Alps or whatever the fuck, or Italy, and you know what I mean, and you can do the exact same shit. So like it's all about status like anything, and then that piece of shit will be sitting on somebody's front lawn in 2 years at a garage sale for $120. You know, like they spent 35 and they used it twice, and then fucking see ya. I'll put you on the spot. You down for 7 o'clock tonight?
7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah. I put in the formerly debunked conspiracy horseman chat.
Oh, about McAfee?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if we're allowed to talk about. How are we going to pull that off? Do you think that's going to be a Realm Network thing?
We'll go live on Twitch if you're down, and then I'll download it and put it on Realm on Vimeo. I think it's important, but it's up to you guys. Me and GGP are down. No pressure.
I've been talking to Sal. He was mad about his he lost a ton of weight. He was down to 409, and then he got mad because he gained a couple of pounds back. And I said, dude, that fluctuates. I fluctuate 5 to 8 pounds every single day. So
he's down much. He's down how much? So like 90 pounds.
Right? He's down a lot. Yeah, he was near 5, I think. 475 minimum, but I'll check with him and see. I'll obviously ask my wife, and that shouldn't be a problem.
All right. Well, you heard it, guys. Possible tonight, the ultra declassified kayfabe episode, the reunification of
circle back on that.
The conspiracy horseman, because yesterday was a big day. The conspiracy is already in full swing within 2 minutes after the announcement of the passing of John McAfee, probably arguably the greatest guest the conspiracy horsemen have ever had, and you know, most controversial. Us to really have 2 great sessions with him that are different from everybody else. He'll give other people time, but that's why the horsemen were different and are different. And you could see once they were comfortable with him and Mrs. McAfee, and we'll put those episodes probably out on Realm and Russo brand as well, and as well as Hamin Media Group once we get that up there. But yeah, the story came out about 10:15 in the morning yesterday that Spain was going to extradite John McAfee back to the U.S. To stand trial for what, I don't know, because what they're accusing him of goes on Twitter now every single day, talking about cryptocurrencies. And think about, he went to jail before Doggy Coin, even that, all that fad even took off. And that's
Elon Musk should be in jail right now too, if you're the same lines.
Man, you are in my head, bro. Like group mind, fucking. I'm going. Elon Musk is more guilty of anybody of spiking fucking prices and dealing with the billionaires. So, and I'm sure there's other things that McAfee had on him, but then by, I don't even know, 1 o'clock, like the story comes out that he's taken his own life, supposedly suicided. Was he in an Epstein way? And then right away, one of the last Instagram posts he put out the day before is a big Q. And then, that's the Epstein stuff he talked about with us, and then there's even tattoo of him showing whacked he had on his arm with a dollar sign for the S, which I like, and that they wanted to kill him because of what he knew and what was going on, man. Did Epstein kill himself because he didn't want to face some weird charge that we wouldn't even know what it is in America? Or is this, let's put this guy down at this point? And what kills me is, not kills me because he's dead, but what hurts me is I reached out to Mrs. McAfee 2 weeks ago to try and get a teleconference with him from prison to let him know that, horsemen are here thinking about him, and people wanted to know about him, because Ghislaine Maxwell's getting teleconferences every day, 4 to 5 hours a day she gets on StreamYard or Zoom to meet with attorneys and whoever else. So your thoughts on John McAfee possibly passing, or is he not, or was he suicided Clinton style? And the way this is rolling out, because all of his messages said, if I die in prison, it's murder. It's not me.
Well, I've read, there's at least 2 or 3 articles, they're all the Easter Bunny type, Operation Mockingbird type stuff. But it's funny that they all said apparent suicide. I know I sometimes split words in that way, but they should be able to easily get the word out that this guy hung himself or did whatever and committed suicide. I just find that the timing of it, there's somebody smart. Like usually we say these people are idiots. There was somebody smart enough, if that's what happened, if they did get him, to know that, oh, well, a normal person, their height of their stress and emotional distress is going to be before you get extradited back to the U.S. to stand trial. You're going to be afraid to do that. But I can't think with McAfee that he would love the attention of being walked in the court and having news conferences after his court appearance and all that stuff. He doesn't strike me as somebody that would be broken like that. And that's what made him different. Also, that's what made him a little bit, for their sake, flawed because of his ego. He was easily compromised in a few ways with his ego, because the message came across as more self-serving rather than trying to get the word out. And usually these people that are whistleblowers or something are somebody that played the game, and they're flawed to a certain degree and compromised to an even bigger one.
Yeah. And I don't doubt that he might have been compromised to some degree of who he had on what, as he's talking about black sites, aliens with us,
Well, what I'm saying is, like, he was crazy, and he admitted he was crazy. And if you watch the Netflix doc, as slanted as the Netflix doc could be, like, even if 1% of what they're claiming happened,
he's talking to us about moving keys of cocaine through Mexico and how to fucking pay off, the cartels and the police to get shit done. Like, as I was talking to Mitri yesterday and a couple, as everyone's, saying, oh, sorry, dude, about your boy. I'm like, well, I don't know if her boy's like, he was a good guy. I go, well, I don't know if he's a good guy. He's a character, there's no doubt about it. But let's not, the guy hired his own assassins in South America while he protected himself, and having sex workers do fecophilia things to him, supposedly in this documentary about him that was a slam piece, which is probably the same people who aced him out and wanted him killed as well were behind funding that. And it goes on and on where he had these wild dogs and somebody shot his dog, like his guard dog, and fucking then he went and had one of his sicarios supposedly kill them. Like, this is the level this guy's playing on, you know what I mean? So that's not something I can really relate to aside out of character where I'm putting hits on people, although there's plenty of people in the Facebook and YouTube companies that could probably use it. But yeah, man, to us, he was an awesome, intriguing guest. His wife was great, and I wanted to try and follow up with him. But the other part of that coin is I'd never kill myself. I'd never. How long can you hang in prison before your mind snaps, and then they put the pressure on you that they're going to bring you back on that same day? That's what sketches out to me, man. Within like 3 hours,
the timing and the logistics were set up right for the alibi for them.
Well, I go right to Mr. Prouty, Mr. X, Richard Prouty in JFK with talking about the newspaper in New Zealand had the story out before it broke where the assassination wasn't even set. And I'm looking at Yahoo News, and within a 2.5 hour window, then the next story that this guy killed himself came out. It all just seems way too set up that if he's dead, he was dead before those stories of extradition even fucking hit the front page. So they can then go, oh, he killed himself because he was scared to do that. He must have been guilty.
You're never going to get, you're either going to get uninformed by not looking at all this or potentially misinformed by too much information.
Yeah.
There's no way of really knowing unless we talk to her, but for all we know, they could have silenced her 2 weeks ago. There's conversations happening, and maybe they told her now, you say a word, you're next.
Is she under some type of house arrest right now? Because
or just the unspoken thing of, okay, well, I got nothing now. Like, what can I do?
And as nice as she is, let's be honest about the situation. She's one of those ex-sex workers, and they fell in love, and he married her or whatever. And she's not the crip. I'm not saying she's foolish by any means, but this guy's a mathematical genius. Like what aside from having a dead man switch with information that could drop, what else does she really have to offer? So they can just marginalize her and put the squeeze on her, because without him, she's just out in the wind now, so
where's his whatever's left of his fortune or assets go?
And that's what he was tweeting, saying they think I have all this crypto stowed away, but I don't. And I don't know if that's a lie or what have you. And I mean, this is a conspiracy will live forever. And I think McAfee would want it that way. To be honest with you, he loves being the bad boy, the international man of mystery. He wants that Epstein level notoriety of, oh, you don't even fucking know. And for the rest of his life, for the rest of my life, the McAfee thing will always stick out as nah, dude, this feels just like the JFK movie stuff. It feels like, and then right away, the whole internet's going, McAfee did not uninstall himself was the hashtag yesterday. And fucking, just
Pat McAfee must be wondering what the hell's in my Twitter list or whatever right now.
Right, dude. So
well, here's the thing too. Think about it this way. Elon Musk and Pat McAfee. Well, he's getting to that point where he's a billionaire. John McAfee. Elon Musk is playing nice with the government and getting funding and getting to be the Tony Stark and getting all the positive whatever. I mean, he has a pretty seedy personal past and personal present. John McAfee didn't play ball with it. This is the difference between playing the game and not playing the game. And I've been watching a lot of stuff on Elon Musk because of the Tesla that you exposed me for looking at, which is very interesting because there's and it's a side thing, but this is all the way it's presented in the lens of propaganda and mainstream media. You would think a Tesla is much more world friendly, eco-friendly, environmentally friendly. Mm-hmm. It takes to create 1 metric ton of the lithium ion battery for Teslas. You have to use up 500,000 gallons of water that do not get recycled for each metric ton. So there's probably a lot more than 1 metric ton of lithium strip mining. All the carbon and everything that is taken to create 1 Tesla is so much. They might old Honda Accord, like that has a better carbon footprint from beginning to end over the course of the past 14, 15 years that the car has been in existence than the newest 1 model of the Tesla. But this guy has claimed that the electric cars are all going to, be the way of the future, and it's great. And to me, it's fascinating. But my wife said, look at what happened in Texas with the electric grid. Look at our infrastructure of our grid. What if it goes down and there's snow and everybody's stuck on the highway and they're Teslas and nobody can charge them?
Christy Mann is brilliant. She's absolutely on it, dude. And that's what is the whole next big push is environmental consciousness, while they do the other on the other side, because they found a $300 trillion dollar worth vein of lithium in Afghanistan, and now they're going to mine the fuck out of that, or the one in South America as well, and strip mine and bomb whoever they got to take it away from them and give them none of the profits. Well, Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them all invest in the companies. I saw the article. I invested in 2 lithium companies, and both of them are up 14% in the last week. So it's just a game that the Nancy Browns never see, man. And it is with the Elon. I think he's probably as weird and as sexually dysfunctional as McAfee is. With all genius, there's madness.
Dude, he was with Amber Heard, and look at what she's putting Johnny Depp through. So think about the company, and his wife is basically making herself look like an alien, and they named their kid like XYZ45 or whatever. I mean,
yeah, and these are the people that we're supposed to hold up on high, man, at the end of the day.
I sent you a video too, and I don't get to the wrestling headlines. We should probably do a separate podcast just on this shit outside of even conspiracy.
Hopefully tonight at 7 p.m. we will.
Well, I'm talking about just mainstream media narratives and stuff. But I sent you something from Eric Weinstein, who actually had a great story about Jeffrey Epstein. But he was talking about the word elite. And this is funny. Well, here we go. Elite. This is going to be funny because it's kind of an AEW kind of analogy.
Mm-hmm.
We hate the elite. We hate the elite. We hate the elite. The reason why we hate the elite, and we're not talking about the world order or any of that stuff. I'm talking about in organizations, institutions, government, and stuff like that. Well, the reason why we hate them is because they're idiots. They're not really elite at anything. So that's what I'm saying about AEW. They're not elite, but there is a time and a place, the Manhattan Project, the way things were worked on by groups and institutions and people that were the elite of what they did because of the meritocracy. Now it's the biggest idiots are in the spots on the throne. And that's why we hate them, not because of the spot, because of who's occupying it.
They're thieves with killers. They're thieves who have a secret kill force who will steal, rape, rob, and pillage.
They can't do it better than you, so they protect their spot by eliminating anybody smarter than them.
Burn down your shed with emails in it, smash blackberries with a hammer, whatever the fuck. That's not elite. Elite to me is coming up with a way to use that 500 gallons of water to power cars and then go, you know what, we don't need fuels anymore and to be beholden to Saudi masters. And this is actually, the steam from these may actually help the environment, or we've capped it so it's the cleanest ever. Nope, it's electricity because we can own the fucking charging station. We can strip.
Which comes from coal, by the way.
Yeah, we can strip mine out of that, and we'll put a whole marketing spin on it for the propagandized to the SJWs, so they push it, and it's their future, and they feel great about it. Meanwhile, it's done 5 times as much damage as anything else did before it, and they'll never know that until the next thing that they want to cash in on their stupid queef kids like fucking Chelsea Clinton becomes the next elite master and goes, you know what? Our parents were just wrong with the lithium. Now we'll go to water, but water by that time will be a fucking commodity unto itself, thanks to Nestle. And you'll be paying, $3 for a gallon of water to put in your car. Like the saga continues because Nancy Brown and Joe Jerkoff are fucking idiots. Yeah. At the end of the day.
Well, Chelsea Clinton's always going to look like the before picture for our fucking braces commercial, so I'm not going to give her any credibility.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of not having credibility, are you ready for this?
Oh, not having credibility. It's wrestling time. So tonight, you guys, Ultra Kayfabe, maybe around 7. Oh, throw the bat signal up, and hopefully the Horsemen will unite. Let's see, but the headlines, I'm trying to scale back on our headlines, and I say that, but we've got a fair amount to get ththrough. So, anything else, Steve Areno, man?
No, that's about it for now. I'm sure I'll think of something.
All right. Tony Khan, you might have heard of him, names which AEW gimmick he was not a fan of.
Tony Khan.
Yeah. On a recent episode of Wrestling with Brandon F. Walker, who the fuck are these pundits that he's going on their show? Just no name nobodies. AEW President Tony Khan or Orange Cassidy came to promote AEW's upcoming show across the country. During the interview, Khan discussed what other surprises he had planned through AEW. Up there, he says, "I've got a lot up my sleeve," exclaimed Khan. "I have a lot of stuff. I'm not going to bullshit you. I have a lot of stuff up my sleeve for the next year. Nobody knows. It's going to be a big year." Khan also discussed the attitude that AEW has when it comes to mistakes. Khan said that AEW tries to quickly correct mistakes when they make them, and noted that not every idea will be perfect and well received. If we made a mistake, I think we do a good job pivoting off of it. There have been a lot of stuff that was not perfect, and you don't always get stuff right. But the key is to not double down, triple down, quadruple down on it if something doesn't work. I like to say, I have my finger on the pulse of wrestling. Nobody bats 1,000, but if you're throwing a pitch in baseball, it keeps getting crushed. You don't throw the same pitch, maybe switch it up. And there have been times like that. Khan wanted to list the Matt Hardy broken gimmick as an example of an idea that Khan wasn't personally into. Only the biggest money-making opportunity of all, so we're not into that. He recounted the filming of an episode and went on to say that Chris Jericho and Hardy both taught Khan into doing the teleportation scene. Khan then went to praise Hardy's ability to evolve since he's been a major part of AEW. I can't read any more of this. But how does he feel about the 5 restarts of Brandy Rhodes?
Pivot. Throw
the ball. Where to even begin of like how many failed stop and starts they've had with everybody from Luchasaurus to Murder Hawk to fucking Rusev.
Where's that guy at?
Oh, he just promo last week. Now he's focused, and now they're gonna he's really gonna whip everybody's ass.
Who, Lance said that?
Well, Jake said it for Lance while he paced in the back.
So now we're going to see the real him.
Finally, the real him. Rusev
your spectrum is brutal right now.
Yeah, that's that one bar. What the fuck, man? Everything was going good for a while, and now it's back to the fucking same old shit. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router. I can't. It's upstairs. Am I back? No.
You're back to a degree.
A shitty degree. Rusev wearing mom pajamas and playing video games. Good.
Yeah, so they brought in Rusev from WWE, who looks like a killer, and the first gimmick they give him is being the best man for a kid that looks like a teenager, and they promote him being a fan of video games because that's going to draw the casual crowd that is already watching it, because all the gamers already watch this kind of stuff. So why are you not trying to get a UFC crowd or a boxing crowd, or even, God forbid, an international crowd off a guy from Bulgaria? What is, is that crazy?
The Bulgarian fucking demographic is a massive watching audience.
Yeah, take a break from a war and just watch the
wrestling. But the other part that I wanted to switch to with Khan was going in on Russo yesterday, talking about WCW and how they had no.
Can I stop you right there?
Please go ahead.
I know you're going to try. It's like you said, group mind. He should probably never, ever, ever talk about WCW, which is product. Go ahead. You can finish my sentence.
Yeah, he doesn't see where they're going down the same exact road and how it ends. He learns nothing from history, but
the look is WCW Nitro.
100%. and thinks that he can fix it while putting himself over as my booking. I'm the booker of the year. I'm the booker that gets it done the right way, when I can't name one storyline where someone's been built properly or gone all the way full circle to get somebody to where they need to be. Maybe Darby Allin, but even now he's floundering to some degree. Why
does it speak to me too? Like, it probably grates you that the guys on the interview, they own a football team, they own a soccer team, and he uses a baseball analogy. You can't even plug the Jaguars or your soccer team into the interview in the right way.
He knows if he was to do that, they'd be like, he's talking about teams that are complete losers and that are 1-15 and then demoted from the main league.
I don't think he thinks that. I don't think he thinks that smart, because that is a good point. I don't think he's that smart.
Oh, I think he is, and he's embarrassed. I think he's embarrassed. That's why he doesn't bring it up, because he knows he's a failure. He knows when it comes to the analytics guy who is all about numbers, knows it. And that's why he keeps putting over, we're the best, we're the da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, like Russo said yesterday in our meeting, they went from 1.4 million to 800,000, and now down on a night shift to 460,000 to 560,000 is their baseline. That is something, if you're a numbers guy, that will have you doing crushed up lines of Adderall, staying up all night tweaking.
Did Meltzer spin that? Somebody made a joke in your group about that. Did he really spin it to be like there's numbers that aren't being counted and it's really a million, or it's like some crazy number that's double or triple what the number's advertised as?
And it shows that he's probably right there sniffing a line next to him.
I thought that was a joke article, like kayfabe news.
Everything that Meltzer puts out is a joke article, as far as I'm concerned. Has he ever run a show? Has he ever taken a bump? Has he ever drawn a crowd? Has he ever sold a ticket? No. So why would I take his word about anything?
I know what it was. Somebody in your group posted a screenshot that I guess somebody tweeted about that, and he quote tweeted it and said, your basic, like, whatever, I don't like to use even left or liberal or woke or whatever, but it was that tone of, you said a bunch of words, but you didn't say anything, but you told them they were stupid. Like, oh, you just need to learn the right. He was trying to groom this person into thinking the right way in order to fit the narrative. Do you know which post I'm talking about? Where he goes, you just have to be smarter and you have to be more informed and you have to really look at things the right way. Like, you said absolutely nothing, but you're telling this person they're stupid when they gave you the rating, the number, and everything with that.
Everything, dude. God damn. It's on her. I'm just looking for that real quick to see if it.
Well, maybe when I go to knock on Tony's door, when you say I have this open door thing where Stevie Richards can just walk into the Jacksonville Jaguars facility and say, I like to talk to Tony for a few minutes. I'm thinking about actually filming a video for my YouTube channel where I do that. Our next trip down to St. Augustine Beach.
You could be fucking TNT champ that night.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Somebody was training in the ring yesterday. It wasn't me.
Somebody's still feeling it.
What'd you do? Just run some ropes and fucking
ran the ropes, and I do my normal warm-up drill to get my footing back so you don't cross your feet, which fucking everybody in wrestling crosses their feet. All you got to do is side shuffle back and forth like a few times, even to the point when I train, and I was up by myself, and I'm going to train with a couple other guys next week. Because for me, I'm very I'm very self-aware of looking rusty or looking uncoordinated because I'm already not that greatly coordinated. But I was doing drills of just getting in and out of the ring, like through the middle rope. Because you know how guys get their the second foot stuck, or it's embarrassing, and that's how they, the match is dead. If I'm not used to going through the ropes after not working for a year and a half, I'm not going to do that. And also the shuffle circles around the ring, couple tumbles, and then running the ropes at different speeds and doing a stop and seeing if my knee braces are going to, hold up, because it's all new, man. It all jolts you if you're not used to it. I'm not looking forward to it. My wife, we went out to the pool before our meeting with Vimeo, and like people looked because I took my shirt I didn't realize I had the rope things from not running the rope. Like it looked like I got whipped in the back. So that's my story. Hey, that's a message for young talents out there. You got to keep up with it because you could be wrestling 30 years. And if you even take a couple months off, man, you got to start all over again. And that's what I'm doing.
I don't have the ring, but I got about a 18 by 18 setup down here. So I'm going to start just getting my footwork back too. And like you said, don't cross up your feet that way, man. And then maybe we'll get on the Jaguars and be tag team together.
Actually, I met up with the guy who gave me the key, and I asked him if there was any power washing appointments available that I could fill.
They're all taken. Dark is full. Sorry. But yeah, man, this him going at Russo saying that and then Russo came over to an already worse situation and killed him. Meanwhile, when Russo signed up in the first 3 months, or when Russo went to WCW, they went up 1 million viewers in those first 3 months. So everything that this guy's saying is revisionist history to try and slam everybody else and take no responsibility for his ineptitude, for the fact that he doesn't know how to do business. He doesn't know how to build a baby face or make a star from the ground up, and that the people around him are just picking his pockets and not giving him the true education that he could. He could come out of this 3 years from now with a master's level education in wrestling. I see nothing at this point that even says that we're working towards that based on the professors he has around them. It's still all I'm the best booker. Like that every wrestling company that was successful has one guy at the top who is the commander in chief. So he's literally portraying himself as General Patton on the war front at this point.
Yeah, I would definitely compare him to a commander in chief right now. That's a good analogy.
Points. Oh shit. Oh man. Backstage news. On top WWE star possibly being moved to Raw. There's been big talk, Stevie, that Big E may be moved from SmackDown to Raw. New Day is currently split up with Big E competing as a singles.
Who called this?
What? It's almost like I almost know what's going on. Not from inside information, but because we've done this for 15 and 30 years, and we see what needs to happen, and we've booked house shows, and we've tried to help draw the crowds. So according to WrestleVotes, the new idea making rounds is for Big E to move back to Raw in the WWE draft. That's stupid to wait for the draft. You're going back on the road this month. You lost Braun Strowman. Well, you not lost. You fucking fired his ass. And then you've who's the other big draw that I said was a kind of a ticket draw. But New Days for the kids, and to have them split up, your house shows are going to be hurting.
The big draw, Spectrum Internet. It's drawing the energy from your stream.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, I think we called this when Big E was kind of dead in the water when he had the IC title, and he was still doing the New Day stuff. He was still doing the same exact act as he did when they were together. So why break them up? And this is something that I don't know if the people in charge, I mean, because I really do believe the guy should be a future top guy. The damage isn't so bad you can't undo it, but you have this safety. This is like the Shield. How many reunions of the Shield? The New Days, that this is only their first real reunion. They have 2 or 3 or 4 more that they're gonna just kill this thing as much as they can. And of course, all 3 guys are millionaires probably by now. So you're making the money. What are you going to do? And if it is a joke, the New Day is the greatest parody act on the show. At least they're having fun making it a joke, because it is a joke. Imagine if you had to be serious with this shit being stupid. At least they're having fun. So they aren't I think they're the smartest guys on the roster.
I agree with that 100%, dude, because they've gotten to the clown level, but still have all the credibility of world championships, the video game underground. They're not that they're untouchable and couldn't be let go, but they've already done what we tell everybody else to do when they are released. They're doing that while they're fucking under contract to some degree and have their lives set up for success and outside of wrestling. And Yeah, you're going back on the road. Of course, it's new day for the little kids, man. And
They aren't thinking that way.
They're fools then.
New Day is. They're not. They're thinking in the world of the bubble of the draft, not thinking that we need a house show act that's going to draw kids, because they aren't going to pay these kids. If we had kids and they said, I want to go see WWE, and you looked at those ticket prices, knowing that it's free on TV, it's like, I'll spend $150 and you go to the website and buy yourself a ton of merch, because I'm not taking you to that.
In completely tone-deaf news, Peyton Royce recalls the terrible meeting with Vince McMahon and believes it led to her release. This is why you were, quote, this is when you were drafted to SmackDown. I think this is Billy Kay. No, this is her. And I decided to put on my big girl panties, so I don't know where she got a hold of Nia's panties, but she put them on, and talked to Vince. I had in my head what I wanted to say, but he brushed it off very quickly. I went, crap. I had an idea, but I wanted to present, and he wanted to discuss other ideas, like, hey, why don't you come on the plane with me? But I didn't have any other ideas. This is what I wanted to talk about and put my time and effort into. Vince says, what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun? Me being me, the introvert and the homebody that I am, I had to let him know that I like to sit on the couch with my dogs and watch TV. He just stared at me and said, okay, what's your plans? In my head, I'm just like, make something up. And I couldn't make anything up. Nothing was coming out. I'm not a liar. I feel that he could have seen right through that. I basically said to him, I'm sorry, I'm boring. And I just like to be at home on my days off. I didn't contribute much during that, unfortunately, and that's probably why I lost my job. Bro, kids, man, how can they get this far in the system, gonna put their big girl panties on and go talk to the boss and walk up with a handful of shit and not be able to say anything?
Are you frozen, or you
done? I'm done. I'm a spectrum. I looked at it and I'm down to one bar, and then it fluctuates between two. So it's just like,
well, she's lucky that Vince even gave her a follow-up question. I've never heard. Hey, I don't know this guy, by the way. I don't know. What do you do for fun? I mean, that's not like, if he's trying to trap you, he's getting really bad at it. You know what I mean? Trying to think of excuses. Like, I've been there was a whole string of comments about this in your group on Facebook. I am legitimately an introvert. Now, when people hear introverts, they feel like it's like, well, you shouldn't be a wrestler. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do. No, that's exactly why I became a pro wrestler, because I was so shy. I wanted to pretend I was this larger than life character.
Mm-hmm.
So I could bring that out. And now I got the comfort level at almost 50 to kind of, okay, I'm comfortable with being here, but I don't mind going out and doing my own. I'm my maturity and my level. Well, maturity is, that's a subjective word, but my perspective on life and my experience now has made me comfortable in my own skin finally, to where I don't feel the social anxiety of being an introvert. I actually feel pretty productive when I'm at home. And you and I have built a business, technically having to be an introvert to a certain extent. So they took her the wrong way. But if Vince had said to her, what do you do for fun? I would have like 3 strikes and you're out. I would have stood by and said, I really believe this. If you give me 6 to 8 weeks, this can get over. And if it doesn't get over, then it's up to you what you want to do. But you just buy yourself 6 to 8 weeks. If you give me this, if you give me 3 to 4 weeks of vignettes or even promos or an angle with somebody, another 3 or 4 weeks to work a program, to work a match at a pay-per-view, I go, what do you got to lose? I mean, if you don't like it, fire me.
Right.
See, that's the shit he wouldn't fire her for that, because she literally said, I'm willing to die on this hill and you can fire me if you don't think it gets over. But that, what do you do for fun? It threw her off.
Yeah.
It would throw me off, because I'd be like, what the fuck do you do for fun? You never sleep. You know?
I squat 1,000 pounds. That's what I do for fun.
So, that's what I would tell him, actually, as a joke. I'd be like, I belt squat, but on a real machine.
And
But that's where she buried herself, because when obviously it's hard to say, because when you're in front of that dude, even at 75 and crazy and dementia ridden, he's still a kind of an intimidating guy. And it's easy to be intimidated. But if you're going to take the time to go and face him, you've already rehearsed this pitch in your mind. The only thing you got to do now, why she didn't go to somebody, her husband or somebody else that could have said, well, Vince likes it when you stick to your guns and you say, hey, I believe in this. I think this is the way to go.
Yeah, and if she doesn't go to stick up for her idea, which we still don't have any clue what that was, then why would he believe in it, even if it's a misdirection spot, man? Just, it's children getting way high up on the ladder thinking they know how to play this game and they don't. And the other part is like, what do you do for fun? Well, I'm a shopaholic who shops Amazon all day. I don't remember that video with Spears at their condo at home, and there was like 85 packages of Amazon on the table. He goes, this is just 3 days. So that's what she does. She goes home and
she's also an environmentalist.
Yeah.
Just to say, man, it probably that's probably what got it. That and the thing of let me show you, let me go to do what I can do. And then they put you in the ring with Asuka, and that's what happens. And they not knowing what your draw is, not knowing what you do well. Instead, you exposed yourself in a way. You tested yourself, which is fine, but you knew you couldn't do it, or maybe you didn't, and you found out live.
I agree with all that, man. And it's sad because they were finally going from rotten. They were sexy, comical, what have you, foreign. And then they split them up at the most wrong time. You know what I mean? Right when they're just starting to get over. Same with, they do that almost every tag team, really.
We got to think, did they pitch something at a certain, there's something that had to happen backstage that caused it, because it's never just it might be a whim that the old man wakes up, but also remember all the sleeper cells in this Al-Qaeda Wrestling Entertainment Network, that if you go above one of them, they're going to make sure you're done.
That's a good one. Society Reviews. She likes to go to Whole Foods and bitch about getting catcalled.
Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, she was at Whole Foods and somebody gave her the and she fucking lost it on him and cut a whole fucking social media promo. This is after she was released. Yeah. And then
I'd appreciate that boost at this point in my life. That'll make my day.
And then 2 weeks later, she releases new bikini pictures of, don't treat me like a woman, just treat me like a man. You know, like the same old hypocrisy, just children inside the bubble who don't get it. And I doubt that Spears can go to bat for her to get an AEW job, even though her and Billy Kay would work there, like as a tag team. I think there's money there with them, but everybody's trying to pick pockets, so everyone's got to fly covert.
There's a political split there too that got him into the company initially too. That split the group in charge, right? So that'd be part two of that.
That's what I'm saying. So like the fact that they didn't want Spears, and I heard it was like Bucks and them didn't want WWE guys or whatever, and Spears and Cody are like this. Cody over strong. It's not like you got to it's not like you're doing a Luther favor. You know, Spears is that
supposed to be crazy, by the way. That's why that somebody had commented on our thing saying that you don't understand it. He's insane. And I said, I'm insane for fucking watching this. You know, no, dude, he's the same age as me. So there's no excuse. And you're making a lot more money than I am right now.
And
maybe, I don't know.
I doubt it. But they're delivering a lackluster performance. But now, if you had enough trouble getting Spears in the door, who's an A+ talent, in my opinion, if used properly, and they didn't use him properly, that's another guy that restarted 5 times in the Tony Khan Booker of the Century fucking model. So how could he go to bat for his wife through Cody and them and not expect to hit rough waters? You know what I mean? It's going to be an interesting time for them. I think you're going to see the Iconics at an indie near you multiple times, and you'll see them probably in the Mickey James show for women, and that'll be a good little highlight for them. But That's what I was thinking too. The politics that went down in the upper echelon EVP that we know about circle to even get Spears a shot. And then that was fucked up 5 times in a year. Going to be tough to go to bat for the Iconics, man.
Well, you might not even have the Iconics because Peyton Royce is married, so she's a citizen. But remember, when they work for WWE, they're on a rotating visa. So Billie Kay, how much time does she have left in her visa? And she's Australian. So if she goes back, they're locked down. They can't go anywhere.
I was going to say, there's your storyline. Like, Billie Kay needs to get married to get a visa is the fucking storyline. And she's looking for wrestlers that will get married to her.
She would do it. She'd be good at that.
I think that'd be fucking phenomenal. But why use real life when we can come up with champagne, orange juice, mimosa matches? You know, why?
I had another one.
No, but I'm saying that's another great idea. Bianca Belair successfully defended her SmackDown Women's title against Bayley at Hell in the Cell. Looking back on her 1-year anniversary since her main roster call-up, Bianca Belair told the panel over at WWE's Bump how meaningful it is to keep proving herself as a worthy competitor and champion. I think I've added experience to myself. When people talk about me or see me, they say, she's a rookie. She doesn't have any experience. This year, I've gained more experience. I've been in the ring with the best. You know, I pinned Bayley right in the Royal Rumble. Right before the Royal Rumble. I can't lie if I can't say that I didn't give more momentum and that it didn't push me to become a better competitor. I've gotten in the ring with Sasha Banks on the highest level at Real WrestleMania main event. To get in the ring with these women, I know being an athlete my whole life, you have to compete with the best. And that's what I've been doing all year long, beating the best. Dude. It's the Bump. This is all propaganda with her putting herself over. It is what it is. But since the Royal Rumble, they've devalued her a lot. Like just with the hair whip and the door knocker earrings and the shake and slap your ass and da-da-da-da-da. And when they had a FloJo, when they had a, what are the sisters in tennis? Williams, Serena and Venus Williams. Do you ever see Serena Williams come out to the fucking, Wimbledon and then slapping her ass and fucking twerking, but after she hits a fucking ace or some shit? No. And that's what you're doing. You in the same breath where Seth Rollins is putting over Martin Luther King, cue the black girl to come out and twerk World Star style, dude. That's the most tone deaf thing. And I don't know how they can keep getting them to do that type of ghetto shit in the BLM movement year. It's unreal to me, man.
Well, she won a match. So, I mean, that's,
she beat Sasha.
By the way, here's, it used to be, think about it if you're old enough, or if you have whatever's on the network that you're allowed to watch at this point. When somebody won the Royal Rumble, what that meant for them, much like the IC title, it was the company was giving you the opportunity to get more over. This was a boost. So as fake as it might be, the spot still meant, wow, we're giving you more responsibility. You're now in the upper middle, maybe at the top of the card. We're going to see if we can put you over even more. These are all little tests to see how much you can get over.
Right.
Dude, what we've seen in the past 3 to 4 years is if you win the Rumble, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
We have Nakamura and all these other people. You're done. You're done if you win the Rumble. It's like the beginning of the end.
Pretty close to it, man. And even
all you got to do then is just wait 5 to 10 years for your vignettes. That's all you got to look forward to.
Doing Hell in the Cell out of a feud where they're laughing at each other. That's where we went to Hell in the Cell.
Did you like my idea to rename it?
What was it?
The Ding Dong Hello in the Cell.
Oh boy.
Ding Dong.
I did like that. I'll get you the full one here. That's more than worthy.
Oh.
Ding Dong. Hello.
Yeah, let's see. Speaking of Hell in the Cell, multiple sources are reporting the USA Network officials were not happy with Fox getting the big Hell in the Cell match for Universal title on Friday Night SmackDown episode with Reigns and Rey Mysterio. Reigns up. In addition, in an update, Matt Men podcast reported the USA Network officials were unhappy with that He says, I can tell you for a fact that USA Network is very unhappy with the Hell in a Cell match happening on SmackDown. I'm not going to say they're fuming, but they are very unhappy about it. Furthermore, Meltzer noted on Observer that Fox officials aren't thrilled with Peacock constantly being promoted on their network when they see which they see as another rivalry streaming service. NBCU obviously has no issue with Peacock being pushed on Raw, but they were not happy with the Hell in the Cell match being given away on Fox. The big issue with the Rey Mysterio Reigns bout had to do with NBC Universal's Peacock losing the match, as it was nicked from Sunday's pay-per-view on Peacock on the cock and the WWE Network. NBCU is also the parent company of USA, and NBCU lost the match because it was pulled from the pay-per-view, but Fox picked it up. WWE ratings have been down, and the company is under some pressure to pick the ratings up back due to big money TV rights fees from NBCU and Fox. This is why there have been recent pitches to hold more special themed TV shows where they can bury legends and then have them show up on AEW.
Bring out the scooter.
Yeah, bring out the scooter. Interesting here, Stevie. What are your inside contacts at NBCU and Fox saying about all of this?
I don't know. I'm just a wrestler that occasionally visits my friend in Jacksonville. I don't have any other things that are. I gotta say, this is where we could see, and this might be a bold take or a hot take or whatever, but this is the next stage of what could fuel the actual wrestling boom. If USA and Fox can get together and then put two people, not general managers, but now representatives like Don Callis used to be for TNN with ECW, and you have the two network people, they're actually wrestlers too, to some degree, that can work. You have them fighting, and now you take shots network-wise at each other and try to outdo each other, and you have a new, not a Monday Night War, but you got a new brand war between the networks.
Right.
Like you should have had it at the draft. And if you really wanted to start now, the draft would be the way where you actually have people and you have people talking and representatives wanting certain talents, or even people saying, that guy sucks. Now you got a talent saying, oh yeah, watch this. Like they do for football players with GMs, like Aaron Rodgers is going through with the GM of the Packers.
Right.
Now you have things that you can talk about on these nothing shows all year round.
And Jacob Ullman can get himself over like he wants to by getting on camera to be the network exec, or you can invent new characters to come in and be those fake people if you need to.
Yeah, because now you got a guy like Samoa Joe who's something like the GM for NXT, but you can also have Joe, this GM, that GM. Well, it's Pierce and Sonya, which is awful. Actually answer to somebody who represents the network. Now the network has, and if you really want it, the network should have a storyline control of these shows anyway, because I have a feeling they don't know what the hell's going on either show.
No.
So maybe that's why Fox finally started watching their own show and said, "Oh shit, this sucks. We need better matches."
It is interesting, the conversation of, being beholden to too many masters who gave you $1 billion each. And now you're giving them a little something, but then your side piece is fucking pissed off and you got to spend time with them. It's a very funny corner they painted themselves into. And WWE don't care. Like, give them the fucking match. Give them the fucking Hell in the Cell. Who cares about our product? And
give them the match, because then we don't have to, really deal with USA till maybe Tuesday.
Right.
Right.
And they don't care about the show. The show and the quality and the storylines and the fans are so far down on the list when they should be the forefront and used for leverage, and you can't miss this TV, and really would have Fox and NBC marking out for them. Instead, any exec that watches these shows is going to go, we gave them how much? What? Braun Strowman looks to be getting ready to get back to work. The former WWE star took to Instagram to show off his new physique, where the former strongman looks jacked as ever as he tries to gain 20 more pounds of muscle. I'm working too hard. Diet update, quote, diet update, since I haven't posted a pic in a bit. Trying to clean-ish bulk. That pops me. Trying to clean-ish bulk. After 5 meals a day, I was at 357 pounds on the scale, on my way to 370, 375. then going to turn it into granite. Told y'all I ain't playing around. Former.
Did he tell us?
Yeah, he told us.
Okay. I haven't posted. No, I haven't posted anything, but I told you.
I told us so. And it looks like to me, even though he says clean-ish, that looks off B12 to me. That looks more real there than what we've seen of him in the last year. So, however, that forehead big in a motherfucker. Clean-ish day one.
Yeah. I mean, you can do growth hormone and not have any steroid side effects. Of course, everything will grow like the forehead and everything else. Hey, the guy works hard. He looks great. But when he says clean-ish bulk, I know he means that like he's probably not dieting as strict, but
right. No,
you got to watch your words.
Yeah,
he's your new BFF on Twitter, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, we're bros. That's why I'm not going hard on, wailing on
and still no. I guess that GIF him and Spud put up were basically okay. We're good or whatever, but no communication off of that at all. And I'm not going to reach out to the guy. Like I said, I'd like to, but I'm not going to,
Well, he saw it, and what you said was very Stevie Richards kind, thoughtful, and honest, and the fact that he knows it. And then those guys are like, yeah, we got his back with EC3 retweeting us.
That's a good point. Yeah. Okay.
So I think, that those guys do got it that way. Shaved his beard down though. Big mistake. I wish I could make a big mistake. Let's see. Alexa Bliss responds to criticism from WWE fans. Alexa Bliss is not bothered by the recent criticism from WWE fans because she's having fun with her gimmick. There has been a lot of positive and negative feedback how WWE booked Bliss for the past year or so over the various changes in her character. She says they can say what they want, but I'm actually having fun, she wrote. That's all, as she fucking poses with her leg over her shoulder, creeping on the ground, which is a pretty cool little yoga thing that transitions into character there, like the runner's pose that goes over her shoulder. And it does it's kind of like her version of the Bray Wyatt back bridge. You know what I mean? That's like a creepy fucking walk on his hands thing like that. That I do like character wise, because when we can do the physicality that reinforces the strangeness of a character, I think that is really good. Some people were saying she got her gimmicks redone because she was looking busty on the last show. I don't know. But then in the same breath, whatever, I'm not going to rank on her about losing the pig and all that kind of shit because, one of my pets is sick right now and I can empathize. If you want to hear me be a cold-hearted dick, go back 2 weeks ago. But not last week because that show got pulled. But
like Joey Bear said, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. But the fact that they took this off of Bray, put it on her, it's revamped. We had Jilly, that's already dead in the fucking water. Whatever. I got a problem with her doing this stuff, and then within the next 24 hours posting little kissy face pictures with her and her pink-haired little beta boy fiance. Like, that's where the problem is for me when it comes to the on-air stuff. She's doing great facials where she goes from very heelish and dark to like these big Joker smiles. That's a really good range, and she comes through the camera with it almost every time. Now, the creative, even though we're doing Mythic, they're not working the matches the right way. There's no way she should be getting heat on fucking Shayna Baszler and beating the shit out of Shayna Baszler while she's covering up. And you got Snacks and Reggie at ringside fucking, at least they're helping to get the bit over. And I know that, Nia and her are friends, so at least she's getting to work with her friends. That's always fun too, man.
But you still have to look at the size. Bray looked like a killer. Even without the gimmick, he looked like he had been in a fight. This is where you have to suspend all 100% plus another 50% disbelief or reality, because now you have a 4'11" girl fighting whatever you think Nia weighs, and she's still a tall girl, and she can move. And you got Shayna Baszler, who's a UFC fighter, and you got a dude, and she's taking them all out. So whatever supernatural powers, by the way, the Thunderdome's going away and there's going to be people. So that's why they're paring this down into a non-mythical wrestling gimmick.
Right.
And you don't think when they pull that shit off in front of people, you don't think the people are going to boo? How stupid it might be?
Or
you don't know what people are going to react to.
Or will she just look around the arena and the whole arena goes?
They could put plans.
They could. They could do that. They could start.
I would bet if you take that chance and if you're that arrogant to think if somebody's in the front row and she starts hypnotizing them and you got drunk dude next to her, this is fucking stupid shit. Fuck you, and throws the beer at the hypnotized person. Like you could see try that in Philadelphia, see how that works out.
But I don't think that would be bad. What if you got 10 plants or 10 new NXT people they did with the zombies and fucking somebody's talking shit like you suck, da da da, and then she looks at him and then the plant fucking in the crowd turns it like that's enough of like, all right, it's wrestle crap, but it could become a thing where she points at the crowd and does. I don't know why I can't go opposite for some reason with my head.
It's turned.
Well, it's everything, is
flipped
a reflection, but it just fucks with my mind. I kind of like that like you're so conditioned to left and right, but it fucking so to do that I think crowd would join in.
I want to see right here. That's what I want.
Join. Did you see the one I did yesterday when we signed off the meeting or not?
No.
I got one in right at the end of the Russo wrap up. But I think they would join in with that to be a part of the show. I think that's a thing where she can point at them and start to do it. And you'll see the marks start to do that kind of shit. Or we can come up with something new aside from just a head tilt.
Somebody in chat, Society Review, said that crime is up in Philly. Also, breaking news, water is wet.
Oh, crime's up in every major city. Violent crime and murder is up almost 20% across the board from DC to New York to Houston, Miami, LA.
This is definitely the unity that they were talking about. Everything's very uniform across the country now.
Yeah. They're unified in murder. Who knew? It would only take some violence to bring them all together. But she's having fun. She's sexy, and I don't think Ducey's got a big crush on her, and she ain't going nowhere.
Well, the kids love her, don't they? Or is that Bailey?
I don't think I don't even know. How can we tell if the kids love her because of Thunderdome? Who knows what? This is a sad one. I'm not going to save it to the end. We'll get it out of the way now. Super Genie Melissa Coates passed away yesterday at age 50, according to Cauliflower Alley Club. Coates was trained by Killer Kowalski in Massachusetts, also at Rick Bassman's UPW Academy. During her pro career, Coates wrestled in OVW and Deep South. She appeared at 2005 Backlash, where she attempted to break Chris Masters' Master Lock Challenge. It was in 2014 when Coates began managing Sabu as Super Genie. She appeared with him in Impact, as well as other platforms. She was in 2 seasons of GSN's Extreme Dodgeball. In 2020, Coates was forced to undergo an amputation of her leg. A GoFundMe campaign was launched to help with her medical expenses. Hamin Media Group sends our deepest condolences, to Sabu as well, because they were together. But very sad, and I'm not sure cause of death at this point. And I'm not sure with the leg, was it diabetic reasons or some circulatory? I'm really not sure, you guys, on that. But coming off of McAfee and whatnot, and then one of my OVW sisters who I got to do a couple shows with, and pretty sad, man. Age 50 years old. Hopefully it's not a worse story of her taking her own life.
No, definitely condolences to Sabu. I think they live in this area, around the Georgia area, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was doing some research on that because I know she got the amputation, and there were some connected articles within the post that I've seen that talked about after an amputation that circulation can be a problem with the femoral artery. Like one of them, I guess you have one in each leg.
Yeah.
So whatever circulate, I mean, we're talking about a medical type thing, and an amputation is no joke, like even from that or complications, and it doesn't even matter at this point because she's gone, and at 50 years old, that's not old, especially for somebody who's a former bodybuilder and fitness athlete, and that's a very young age to go. So like you said, I hope it's not anything worse than what we're speculating. And
Right.
of course, Sabu, I mean,
A lot to go through though. If you're a beautiful woman and you know your whole thing is that to be eye candy, and you put a lot on that as part of your career, and then to lose that can be a lot. I could only imagine mentally. I mean, not the PTSD that I know Michael Hayes has gone through, but I know he struggles, you know, after having lost his with a bunch of things. I mean, take the Iraq war out of it as much as you can, but that's just a lot for any human being, whether you lost it in a car wreck or on a battlefield. You know what I mean? Especially if your whole thing is I sell vanity, you know, and how does, at the end of the day, we're all just fragile humans, and hopefully it didn't affect her mind as much. And I'm not trying to say, I hope she passed from this cause instead of this cause, but one is a much more sad story, I think, you know what I mean? And I hope it's not that one.
well, now the continued tragedy is the fact that anybody who's with anybody to any degree or has any companionship, or especially if you're married and you're used to spending so much time around your husband or wife, can you imagine? You know what I mean? I mean, we all have our moments where we're kind of like, you know, you might need space or whatever. I've never really felt that, to be honest with you, which makes it even worse if, God forbid, I ever lost my wife, how lost I would be. Like, imagine seeing somebody and they've traveled, they work together, they wrestled together. Some tells me they spent almost every waking moment together. They train together. I assume they both like to work out. Now Sabu has a complete void in his life.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention he's going to have to, you know, logistics of that. You're going to have to bury the one you loved, and then try to figure out how life goes after that.
Yeah. Because he's not, I mean, not to say we can't reinvent. I hate to even put wrestling into this and in a human aspect of it, but his career came and kind of ended, even though he still does X amount. And with her with him was kind of a reinvention and a new way to do that. But, you know, he's not going to be out there doing triple jump moonsaults on his own. And I just, with a guy who's had addiction problems, I think, before himself, you know, this is a dangerous time, you know, in that loss of, where are you going from here? You know, I'm sure he's in a whirlwind of emotion of, I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all need to just say, I know he's on Twitter. I think if you can send him some messages of support.
Yeah. Let's send condolences. Terry Brunk, his shoot name. If you want to send him something on Facebook, I'll stooge it up.
Yeah. There's no way, dude. I mean, I lived first 44 years basically on my own and doing my own thing. And after I can't even imagine what that life, going back to that life again after the wife and the cats and any of that stuff, you know, it's just not, especially in this world, this fucked up world where you need somebody on your side. That's an even more egregious loss or impactful loss on your life.
I agree. And somebody who else wants to have somebody by their side. And I'm not trying to say that, I mean, anybody can be gone. Your candle can get snuffed out like that. But Matt Hardy wants to end his career teaming with brother Jeff Hardy in AEW. And I'd like to see that too, you know, because Jeff, well-documented addiction issues and whatnot. And who knows, man, what that can do to you, or how many miles it's taken off of you. On his first ever Twitch stream, YouTube, Matt spoke about his one moment in his illustrious professional career that is still giving him goosebumps to this day. It's four-way ladder match. He loved it. But he this goes on and on and on. But he wants Jeff to come over to AEW. He says, real life Matt, real life Jeff, just do our thing. That is, I feel like a beautiful way to tie up a career. It's probably going to be 30 years for both of us, probably over 30 years when it's all said and done. To go out the way we came in, that's super cool. I'd like to finish my career with Jeff Hardy, my brother, as a team. To correct the record, I would love to have Jeff Hardy come to AEW just so we could team together, and there'd be a lot of great teams there. A proper Hardys versus Young Bucks feud would be amazing. I can't disagree with that. I think that'd be a great torch pass and a great way to wrap things up. But they won't wrap up there. They're workers. I think Jeff will be released because he's got to just have a big high money contract. And you saw what they used him 2 weeks ago to go over on Cedric out of nowhere. And now he's on the shelf except for bitching in a little backstage scene where he's not in Money in the Bank this week. Like that was his highlight. So why not cut the contract, let him go? It's not going to hurt your ratings to not have Jeff Hardy when you're not using him, have him show up on AEW that already can't draw. There's no threat there. Let these guys have their swan song moment, wrap shit up. And then when they're done there, you bring them back as the Legends Act to induct them into the Hall of Fame, and they finish with WWE the way they should. So I hope it goes that roadmap. I hope they get to do it and they don't try and fuck with them countless times like they do when they came from Impact with the broken universe and the hottest angle there was and brought him out as 1998 rave Hardy fucking hump in the air and fucking clicking their fucking fingers in the stupidest, most tone deaf move in the history of professional wrestling. It'll go down as one of the biggest WrestleMania botch, in my opinion, of all time.
I agree with that. And, yeah, bleed Tony Khan dry. That could be the way to do it. Let the talent go, cut back, do what you need to do, stick to the brand. You're still got major TV licensing deals, and you've already destroyed Jeff enough. You buried him enough. You've taken any kind of steam away. So what's the point?
Old. Yeah.
And you don't even have to, I mean, you don't have to say, now they're stupid because they'll say that to him. Oh yeah, you're already buried. You ain't worth the money, blah, blah, blah. And he'll never come back. But if you want to give him the reunion with his brother, because we're not going to hold you back from that.
Right.
You just set up the Hall of Fame induction just with that alone.
Mm-hmm. I think though, the thing that they may see too is Jeff Hardy pops the crowd on the live shows. Can't let him go. You know, that could be the one thing where they're like, nah, you ain't getting out of here yet. And they try and trip him up.
Yeah, but is he really going to pop the crowd after he loses 6 matches in a row? Or if he's already in the ring?
For some reason though, bro, he's a guy that he will. I'm not trying to go against what you say for anybody else.
No, I mean, they're destroying that each time they don't do anything with him. I'm not saying it won't happen, but imagine what it would be if he was a major part of the show right now.
I think every time they have Jeff Hardy go under, the true fans are like, what the fuck? We want him to win. He's good. WWE sucks. Your management sucks.
Yeah, and let me shut it off.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, get in the ring, and these guys are talking about 30 years in, and they got a lot more high impact bumps on their spine and their bodies. It's so hard. And that's why when I said Jeff looked off on his Raw matches, because he hasn't been in the ring enough and there's lots of stuff going on and maybe even injuries. It's hard to get your body acclimated and conditioned to working, not just bumping, but now at a high level in a TV match is difficult. And Matt's not necessarily wrestling a lot after the concussions, right?
He's been managing.
Oh, you cut off.
He's been managing younger guys.
Private Party, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry. I'm down.
So he's a manager, so he's not really getting in the ring much either. So they would have to prepare for that cut type of reunion to at least look the way they used to look in the ring. And then you got to have guys that can work to make them look good. You know? Yeah,
and the ball good, but are these young guys going to hurt them? You know, you want quality matches. Can you hear me?
I don't even mean that. Like the Hardys do their double team stuff, which is what they are. But now, what if the heel tag team is outshining them with more impressive, more daredevil, instead of bringing it back down to make them shine? I don't have faith that any person in that company can really put them over enough.
I agree. Yeah,
in the proper way.
They'll get over in their entrance, hump in the air. John Cena, you might have heard of him. He confirms the WWE return on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Perfect place to do it. Why not? When asked by Fallon to address rumors of his in-ring comeback, Cena said, "Those rumors are true. I will definitely be back in WWE. I just don't know when." Fallon then brought up Cena's Instagram post from last month with a 16-time world champion post a picture of the WWE logo. He says, yeah, I posted that back in May. I was feeling rather nostalgic about WWE. I just wanted to post the logo. Some people took it as I was returning immediately, which is not the case. I haven't had my last match, and I can't wait to have my next match. Cena brought up the fact that since he's in a lot of movies in the pipeline, the insurance to sign for such projects prevents him from performing with WWE. This is why fans can expect Cena to return to the ring before he starts shooting his next movie. He recently wrapped up shooting for Peacemaker, a Suicide Squad spinoff for HBO Max. All these opportunities have led to more opportunities, Cena said. I said once before, once you do one of these things, the insurance doesn't let you go wrestle on the weekend, so we'll see what happens. All this is Cena being a supreme worker and whatever, and WWE to put that out in May. They probably thought they were going to bring him back, and then we'll pump the brakes till SummerSlam. Like, it just gets revamped. I did see another article where Cena was ready to turn heel, supposedly spent about $5,000 on heel gear. So will we get this heel Cena, or is it just going to be nostalgia to bring him back and pop the crowd, hopefully going on the road again with Cena to have that up there.
He already turned heel and that apologized to China thing, and that could have been he could have been the next Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah,
he could have been a pro China, have Chinese writing on his gimmick. Like, that would have been, dude, you talking about like a new USA chant and hating Cena to a whole new level. That would have been good.
That would have been not good. That would have been fucking great. Then he can also try and get engaged to a Chinese national who doesn't speak English in the middle of the ring as well, just so she can get her green card.
Well, there's that spy. She broke up with Suel or whatever his name is, right?
Yeah. Bring her in here. Get her in here. Get me Suel. But yeah, man, Cena be back. You think for SummerSlam, you think it's going to be Roman Reigns, Cena?
That's going to be tough because Cena's going to get booed. Roman Reigns is going to get cheered with a live crowd. I'm convinced.
Yeah, the Stolen Valor thing's interesting. Will they pull the trigger on that, man? That's interesting. I'd play right into it, but if they're a CIA front, are they gonna really do that? Are they gonna go that route? I don't think so, because if Cena's apologizing in Mandarin to China, the last thing that China's gonna want is a fucking wink, wink, nudge, nudge that Cena's sold out in doing it. It sounds like a great wrestling angle, but let me tell you who owns Hollywood. Let me tell you who was buying up property on Rodeo Drive left and right.
And who may own WWE someday? Who knows?
Yeah. So
NBC Universal was the one with the movie, the F9 movie. So there's ties with China all over the place within the movie studios.
Yep.
So NBC, USA, they may buy. There you go.
Yep. But I don't think they'd have the balls to pull the trigger on the Slaughter turncoat shit with Cena, even though it would be incredible and so many can't miss fucking opportunities. How about if he just came out and cut every promo in Mandarin?
Well, no, I mean, if you want to know if China owns everything, then you have Cena come out as the USA guy saluting and everything, but they pipe in booze. And then Roman Reigns talks about how the dear leader is so awesome and gets cheers piped in and talks about the best products coming from China and how iPhones are made there. And I'm the head of the iPad and all that shit, whatever it is.
Let's see if we can get my Spectrum.
No, that's right. Yeah. But that would be like great. They start your pro USA Cena gets booed everywhere.
I gotta write that down. Yeah, I remember that. Joey Janela, he's auctioning off a disguise he wore to troll anti-mask activists. It's been a busy couple days for Jelly Nutella. On a Tuesday night, AEW and GCW star crashed the Seminole County board meeting in order to troll anti-mask activists. Now Janela's auctioning off his outfit from the endeavor, which proceeds go to Narrow Pro, Choice America. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm going to auction off my Florida man disguise for Narol. For over 50 years, Narol has led the fight for reproductive freedom. There you go. including the right to access abortion. Bidding starts now and ends midnight Eastern time, pal. So he went to the Seminole County School Board meeting, most notably numerous appearance from former referee Drake Wirtz, who were released from the 19th after having been vocal about his anti-mask beliefs and that all lives matter. Janela, who has mocked Wirtz views, posted pictures with Wirtz from the meeting last night. It's unknown if Wirtz was aware of Janela's intentions or not. Come on. Janela has been injured over the last few weeks after being banged up in a match against Hangman Page on AEW Dynamite. He's been hinting at a heel turn on AEW's programs with Dark Elevation, abandoning his partner Sonny Kiss in favor of going to clubs with AEW announcer Alex Marvez, which is stupid. But this is also possible. I can't imagine he wouldn't do it, but him and Drake Wirtz are obviously, and Drake Wirtz supposedly spoke at like an hour and 45 minutes in, and then at 2 hours and 10 minutes in, Janela gets up and does this bit screaming at the doctors when he leaves. Is that a smart thing to do, SJW-wise, when you work for one of the most woke companies? How are Brandy and Cody and them going to fucking feel about this and put the heat down on you? However, me as a creative, I'm going, Joey Janela is not getting over. He talks all this shit to Enzo or Dylan Bostic about wanting to fight, and then he pussies out. I think he's a smart promotion guy for himself. I think I see a lot of young Jericho in him, but to me, a short run as Florida Man is a way better fucking gimmick than anything else I'm seeing, putting them with Sonny Kiss because they want to do Sonny Crockett and them, the odd couple, gay fucking Miami Vice rib or what have you. Florida Man saying some dumb shit, all right, off the internet every day of what people are seeing in their Twitter feed is a brilliant gimmick. And all you need is a fucking hat, jeans, and a fucking, some New Balance. As far as that goes. And B, how about one of the characters from Obama's run, Joe the Plumber? He's Joey Janela, like that. It's all right there. Whether him and Wirtz wanted to rib or he's ribbing Wirtz.
Obama phone lady.
Yeah, Obama. Yeah, bring them all out. Like we could have the whole cast of characters of Karen's and Joey's working together, dude. So he may have ribbed himself into an actual great gimmick here.
So explain this to me. What made him want to show up to this? Just because he has heat with Drake Wirtz, or he just—
That's what they're trying to paint it as, but I got to believe they're boys because they were in CZW together and fucking I think they're buddies. So Wirtz was doing his thing and they want to get headlines and maybe they're trying to work Khan knowing this and bring Drake Wirtz in as his own referee, bias wise, and and they're using the fucking school board things to make the sheets. If they are, my hat's off to them. That's fucking good working of the internet, working of the SJW shit, or else they're just thinking it's a rib and they're going into biz for themselves and they don't really have a bigger picture. But I got to believe with Joey Janela running GCW and running and getting over jumping off of roofs and shit like that to get headlines, that he's smart enough to know what he's doing right here.
That's a possibility. I don't know. Maybe they just thought it was fun to do, and that's it. I'm still stuck on the thing. This is a McAfee type analogy. When you look at what Drake Wirtz did, it's like, okay, that's a bad look optically, or you were trying to get released. There's no sensible reason why you would do that at that particular time wearing your NXT thing or anything. But it's kind of weird to me how people are jumping on him because he's trying to bring a light to human trafficking, to child abuse, to all these different things that people like make it sound like it's a conspiracy theory because you're trying to protect children from being trafficked.
Right.
Like let's break down the takeaway. That's the problem. Everybody looks at the delivery or the look of the guy, or he's too tan, or he's from stupid wrestling, but he's legitimately emotional because kids are getting abused to a very excessive extent throughout the world. Why is that becoming? Is that just about Operation Mockingbird? Is that propaganda? Is that cognitive dissonance because it's so uncomfortable to bring it up that we have to punch back because you just made us think about something? How dare you?
You went against the mainstream narrative using logic, truth, and fucking facts. You motherfucker, we gotta get them. Like that's what it is. Then that's the division of changing the conversation. It's not even about the reality of human trafficking and what's going on. It's we got to get this motherfucker that he dare rock the boat with anything aside from the narrative we're pushing.
And that's a guy that if we are talking about bringing the Horsemen back, and we got the Realm Network because we don't really have a choice. And this will be one of those conversations with Drake Wirtz about Pizzagate, about child trafficking, about let's hear you out on this, and then pushing back a little bit, like, well, why would you do it then? Like, have a completely objective approach, but let the guy talk instead of just.
You want me to reach out for next Thursday morning?
I think we should talk to him, or at least I think I'm Facebook friends with him or something.
I keep getting suggested by Facebook. People you should add Drake Wirtz. I'm like, oh, okay.
But what's that's the thing I think that's missing a lot is like, okay, why does this guy feel this way? Well, it's pretty obvious to us, but what brought him to this point? He's donating his time. He's doing these walks and stuff for charity to donate to these causes, but people are making fun of him for it. It's like an idiocracy in a way. Why? That's like saying, well, how can you donate to a cat rescue? What are you, a dog hater? Like, what the fuck what is wrong with people? Like, and like I said, because of the McAfees and even the Drake Wirtz and other people who, whatever their personalities are, that's what people lean in towards. They don't care about the actual information, but I don't like it. I like it if you're wearing a suit and a tie and delivered it to me that way, I'd be like, oh, yeah, or you're not on my channel of choice. So, very scary times that unless you're just like, hey, be honest with yourself and just say, this is too uncomfortable and this fucks my head up. I can't quite wrap my head around this. You'd be a lot more honest with yourself if you'd said that. Like, I don't want to even hear because it's crazy. I'm not there yet, and so a lot of people aren't.
Classified Chappie with the triggering of meanwhile Facebook business. I couldn't believe that last night, dude. Like, I'm sitting here programming posts so I'll be able to do the Friday locker room early and not have to worry about getting social media stuff out. And I wanted to get through maybe Saturday, 3 days worth of posts for my 5 clients. And because I was typing and posting too fast on pre-programmed Facebook posts, it blocked me from Facebook business, saying I was working too quickly. So it either thinks I'm a bot. Who gives a fuck? I'm pre-programming posts.
You're too good a typer.
I'm too good a typer, and I got temporarily banned from Facebook business fucking creator studio. Dude, it just makes me want to go wait out in Silicon Valley. Oh, lunch whistle. You guys are going to fucking Taco Bell for lunch? Nope. You're going to catch a fucking belly to belly suplex on the concrete. What do you do at Facebook? Oh, you're going to catch a fucking spike DDT. Like, the same with YouTube, like these fantasies of revenge that I have in my mind based off of just, this isn't even anything controversial. I'm posting about donuts and fucking suits and they're blocking me, bro. It's just maddening, and not in the fucking NFL video game way. Oh, bro.
Jeff still hasn't answered my challenge.
No. This is the other trigger point. Our final story of the day, Stevie. You ready?
I guess so.
From NoDQ.com, one of the worst websites there are. New WWE writer says the company did not require her to know anything about wrestling. During a recent appearance on Asian Not Asian podcast, new writer Kenise Mobley.
It's a swerve.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, commented on being hired by the company. Quote, says, yes, I've just been hired by WWE. Given the things that you know about me and my entire life and what I'm into, yes, that's surprising. Yes, also a surprise for me. They did not require me to know anything about wrestling, but I do have a background in film production and comedy writing, and they're like, perfect, come on in. So I'm on the Monday Night Raw team. So there's Monday Night Raw and there's Friday Night SmackDown, and the people that I know are on it are Bobby. His name is either Bobby Ashley or Bobby Lashley, and I really should know that. But he's like a giant black guy.
Whoa, stop. Read that again. Is that a quote?
This is a quote from Asian Not Asian podcast. And the people I know that are on it, Bobby, his name is either Bobby Ashley or Bobby Lashley. And I really should know that. But like, he's this giant black guy. And he and the people who are part of his crew, I know they call that, or at least as of last year, they called themselves the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business. They wear suits and they're like, we're cool. I went on a date and this guy was like, don't you feel like he effectively said, don't you feel like you're diminishing your dignity writing for WWE? And I was like, I'm getting paid to do the thing that I've been working on for 8 years. And this is 3 times what I was making at my nonprofit job. So yeah, I'm going to take it. Bro. I mean, the rib is insane, but to me, this is me personally. To read these things and laugh at them for whatever reason, it's just so demoralizing when I've dedicated 15 years of my life to get that spot that was given to a fucking affirmative action hired clueless Bukiak who has no idea who Bobby Ashley even is.
I think that's a better name actually, but he's got very good skin. He's not ashy at all, or Ashley.
Yeah, he's not ashy at all.
Dude, I can't wait for every single person. Now need MVPs all over this, probably. MVP is constantly going to introduce him as Bobby Ashley to her and just rub it in. She might not even get the joke, but they are going to. All right, I got to back up.
How about it when they change Bobby Lashley's name from Lashley to Ashley? Ashley! And he's always rubbing fucking cocoa butter on himself.
Write that down. Why would you when you go, is this a generational thing? The fact that like you want to, your natural inclination, at least ours, right? When we get a deal, when we have a meeting, like we did with Vimeo, or we're trying to do the Realm Network backend, what's our thing? We want to put our best foot forward, do our research, and let these people know that, hey, we're familiar with the product and we will have some questions. Or you don't want to come in and go, yeah, what's this, like YouTube or something? Like when you talk to Vimeo, is it like YouTube with money? Like what the fuck? But she's literally telling people publicly that I am not qualified to do this job. And I don't care because they're paying me. I'm only doing this for the money. I don't care about, I don't even care to know what the fuck is going on. And like, they wear suits. Cool.
Even the date she went on with the guy was like, you're going to do wrestling? That dumb shit. And she's like, they're paying me triple, instead of like the guy being like, I thought the story was going to go, wow, they hired you, but you don't know anything about wrestling and the integrity of what you have to do. How are you going to pull this off? Instead, it was like, you're going to go work with wrestling. So even a whole other layer of fuck you to wrestling.
But he said, you're going to work with wrestling, as in that's stupid shit. And she goes, yeah, it's stupid shit. And I'm getting paid. Like, I don't give a fuck about this stuff. That's exactly what she said. Did she start yet? She could not. There's no way this person has to, like, so. As stupid as Vince or anybody within that company are, Stephanie should be like, she loves coming down on people and firing people. Let her do it. Because this
I thought we had with Millie Tamirez with Dick is trash and the
wait a minute, this isn't Millie, this is the other one.
This bitch goes, hold my beer. You want fucking stupid and ignorant to fucking not something I even did 4 years ago with Dick is trash and white people Venmo me because I'm broke and I'll forgive you of your white guilt. That's the other fucking moron.
Oh man, yeah. I thought this was the one. This is the
this is fucking other girl goes, hold on, you thought that was stupid? I'll do something to bury myself in real time, not even let my past catch up with me. Bobby Ashley, everybody, fuck them.
Bobby Ashley, I think.
Dude, I think I would grab her bag if she has one, and we'd go outside and have a shot put competition to see who could get it on the roof first. That would be the highlight of my day as showing up for a Raw that day.
Well, Gordon might enter the shit put competition with that bag too.
Yep.
Oh, please. I can't wait for her to call Randy Morton or something. Ricky, I heard Ricky Morton or Randy Morton.
Dude, everybody should go up to them and introduce themselves as a fucking completely different name.
Yeah, Matt Rattle. And
Yeah.
like everybody has a fucking
Lashley
wrong name.
Lashley goes up and says, "Hi, I'm R-Truth. Good to meet you."
They have to. They 100% have to.
And they have to, bro. Like, I know I'm not trying to be a mark here.
Like, it has to be a thing where she legitimately doesn't know anybody. So for a time, Dewey Foley will be Vince McMahon to her. Like Dewey Foley for a month will be Vince and just completely cross her wires and everything. And if she goes, well, I got discriminated against, or tries to pull this bullshit, you don't even know you didn't even watch one episode of the show to know who the owner of the fucking company is. You should know. Now you might say, well, of course she knows who Vince is. Dude, this guy's been on TV in the top for like a year and she got his name wrong. She doesn't even know the Hurt business is broken up.
Because none of this matters to her because she's not in the bubble and she doesn't watch wrestling and she doesn't have a clue about how to do business or get a character over. She's got comedy and TV writing experience from 8 years ago, though. So, and she fits the profile of what
comedy was actual comedy, though.
I saw her comedy. It sucks.
No, but 8 years ago when comedy was actually comedy, and now it's.
I don't even think so. I think she was probably like a PA on some fucking HBO thing, probably. You know what I mean? Where she got to work 2 days, and that's on her credit list. Now, I watched her stuff. It is, and I'm a professional fucking improviser and comedian. Her stuff is as amateur fucking open mic night bullshit as can be. And the only reason they're getting spots in comedy is because the black women empowerment movement is what it is. And you don't even have to have a decent joke. Fuck white men. The dick is trash. Get them off of the fucking stage. It's our time. It's your time to do what? Go up there and bomb because you have no fucking skills? Absolutely. And now that they've affirmative action hired her right into the fucking creative team for a diversity movement. So Stephanie can further look impressive in front of Ad Age Marketing Magazine execs. That's where we are. Zero to do with the product. Zero to do with creativity, zero to do with increasing the ratings. Only a black eye on the fucking industry once again that they would even think about bringing these two fucking idiots into the fold, man. Only to be chewed up and thrown into the fucking stump grinder and spit out the other side, bro. It's so demoralizing for me, man. And I
want to just say right here, I'm going to get my microphone. This part of my temple is pulsating in a great deal of pain that might cause a live aneurysm after that story.
Okay. I mean, that's the one to go home on. And again, not but 15 years I've been putting in, even longer than that, because I wanted it when I was in Chicago. So 21, 22 years from college level of like, I could bring improv and my skill set to wrestling. I just got to sharpen my swords to make myself undeniable. I've been undeniable for a decade now, and this is who they fucking bring in.
At least Khan watches wrestling in his life and watches it. You say what you will about Tony Khan, but he actually watched the stuff. You know, right. Let him die on the hill he's going to die on, but he watched wrestling. This is literally, you know, I got to get mine. I don't care about this shit or any. Like, she's publicly on a podcast, which is this even she's saying this on an obscure podcast, right? Not even like she's
going to find it. You know what I mean?
No. But well, this is where I don't advocate for anybody losing their job, but she doesn't want the job anyway.
Couldn't even fucking be entertained as somebody that they would bring in there. How about the next Las Vegas tryout at SummerSlam? Even now at 44, I'm getting triggered and going, should I go out there? Because what they said, we don't care about wrestlers. We want larger than life characters and people outside of wrestling. So they're even looking, you know, I could go in there and do 40 different characters for them. And maybe that's my shot, but will I bite the bullet on my own integrity when
I'll just tell you what the tryouts are. The tryouts, like I think there's seminars too that are done. Impact was doing these tryouts, other things. WWE even charged when there was FCW. It's all a grift. And if you show up for a tryout, and do it if you want, And if you, here's what's going to happen, just like any other tryout, 95% of the people, they're just getting worked for their money. They're getting worked. The best you can hope for, whatever money you're putting into that, go to the Nightmare Factory, pay your $4,000 for your AEW dark match. So at least there's kids getting on the AEW dark and maybe even the main show. So I will give them that. As much as that, you're obviously paying for access to AEW. Most of the people are getting that access, right?
Yes.
This here is just dangling the carrot, which with you, dude, if you show up, to me, it's just like,
I am right away. No.
To me, it's no different than showing up backstage for a booking you're not booked for, showing up at a TV taping and just visiting friends. You look desperate. You're paying money to be desperate, which makes you even more desperate. You're flying yourself out there, which makes you even more desperate. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to pay you like a mark. They're going to pay you what you think you're worth by showing up. And if the company and the business in their mind is going in that direction, think about all the talent like the Miz and Drew and all these other people. They're going to eventually be treated like marks and pushed out because we got students we're paying $50,000, and then we got the people we're really marks for outside the business that's going to draw crossover ratings. This is the professional wrestler, the journeyman professional wrestler that has real true wrestling experience throughout 5, 10, 15, 20, or 30 years is becoming not endangered, extinct. There's not going to be, the only reason they're sticking them around or keeping them around is to get over people that can't work. That's all it is. Your kids from China, your kids from Japan, your kids, the flavor of the brand is all they're looking at. Football players, hey, we're going to finally pull the trigger officially on somebody that's gay. Well, what about Sonya? What about Darren Young? What about this guy? No. We need new gay toys. Those are the old gay toys. We need something that's going to, because those are wrestling. They're wrestling gays. They're not like mainstream gays. That's what we want.
That's right.
I mean, this is them talking, right? And the meetings that you talk about, right, Ben?
Yeah. Like there's no bigger ageist, racist, sexist activity than major media marketing. And I'm not saying we're partaking and going, F that minority, and I hate them. It's, let's define these micro demographics of minorities and how do we appeal to them, and then use that guilt on the majority after we have these micro demographics highlighted. And we have to name them for everything from septuagenarian Asian lesbians. How are we going to mark this to 70-year-old Asian lesbians? Like, and that's how they'll start these conversations. It's not like anything malicious. It's how to make a buck and use emotion to, once you tie emotion to a product, people are buying or paying for an emotion or boycotting based upon that. So that's the conversation you need to control. And they plucked my strings this morning emotionally by even entertaining letting this girl in the locker room. Think about what the locker room is and like how guarded it was and what it is. And that you'd ever let an outsider, especially one this ignorant, who doesn't even know your champion's name, be a part of Monday Night Raw, not even send him to NXT or Full Sail. You're on Raw. You're on SmackDown, because we need to fill an affirmative action void. It turns my stomach, bro. It really does. And everybody involved with that hire should just fuck the fuck right off, bro. There's no use for you. Good rib. And these girls, at first I was like, I get it being a broke comedian in a major city. And if somebody gives you a shot, you're going to take it. I don't hold their feet to the fire for that at all. But this shows how completely.
Yeah, but that's her inner dialogue, not the outer dialogue. She's telling us she's a broke comedian who's taking the paycheck, which is exactly what Vince doesn't want to hear. That's why I don't know this guy anymore. You have to have enough stooges. People stooge if people stooge off if you go to the gym in the afternoon and you get in big trouble for going to the gym for your body to look good for the show that night.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not going to get stooged off to Vince, who would, you're trapped though. You hired both of them.
I'll send them an email with the link.
Do it. I'll do it too.
Fuck, man.
Hey, so it's what it is. I mean, it's, you talk about what you just said in this article and what we covered with the Millie girl, below $1 million by SummerSlam at conservatively below. If she's writing now, below $1 million for Raw, and SmackDown might drop below 1.5 quick as anything.
You never think that the passing of John McAfee and fucking Jesus, what an asshole I am right now. Melissa Coates would be overshadowed by the ignorance of a fucking know-nothing writer to get me more emotional than both of those, but here we are. Brutal.
I get what you're saying, dude. I mean, it hits you because there's no room for dissenting voices. We were talking about the narrative, all the other stuff going on in the real world. There's a narrative in wrestling. It's never going to be broken. We've far surpassed this Rubicon of where things can be like you, myself, and Russo. There's plenty of stuff we disagree on in our meetings that are off camera. There's stuff we disagree on outside of wrestling. We all agree wrestling sucks, but if we had creative ideas, who do we think we're going to, we give our input, but who do we think we're going to defer to? The guy with the most amount of experience writing a TV show, formatting the show. We give our input, but we know our place and we know we have a lot to learn. I don't know if I quite put the analogy right, but we can have the argument of what we believe and don't believe. And then in the end, we were like, okay, we got to come to a solution and figure out what we're going to do business-wise moving forward. And we do. Today, if you disagree with something right off the bat, you are something that I need to tell you you're a bad word and I need to destroy you right on the spot. And then nobody gets better and we have our idiocracy.
Well, I think the main lesson to take away from all of this is that you and I need to start applying for jobs that we're wholeheartedly underqualified for and have no reason or idea what's
we're qualified to do a lot. That's our problem.
Well,
a lot of difference.
I was going to apply to Tesla as a rocket, engine tech specialist repair. So repair some rocket engines, safety to Mars. What do you think you might want to apply for this week?
Victoria's Secret model.
I think that'd be strong. I think it'd be real strong.
But the joke's on you because Elon doesn't want anybody with a college degree or much experience. He wants to train within. So you would be on rockets. Victoria's Secret model. What do you think? I identify as one now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think you'd look great with the wings, something sheer. I see you put on the cover. Why not at this point? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Man. I don't want to incur the wrath of a Subway spokesperson.
Hedge fund managers. We could do that. I think that's a good one. I
actually probably could become a hedge fund manager. I read all the stock mail that nobody reads. My cousin keeps telling me over the past 30 years to stop doing it. I'm in on stock calls and stuff. And I'm an idiot. I know.
Eye surgeon. I think I'd be good at doing optical surgery.
Now, if I'm going to do the Victoria's Secret thing, let me bring this over here to send somebody off on some funny stuff. Do you think when I walk down the runway, I should do this?
I think the Rhea Ripley entrance. Yeah. Yes. I wholeheartly, nobody does it better than you do. The Rhea Ripley entrance, not even her. And it
hurts every time there's concrete under this garment.
That's what you do to be a Victoria's Secret model. Beauty is pain. So you're gonna have to do it. Man, we did it here, Stevie. I tried to even shave back the headlines, and we're still approaching 2 hours. Fuck, man. But I appreciate you no matter how frustrating we get every day with some bullshit, whether it's technology or humanity. I'm glad that we have this time together, whether it's here on Russo Brand or the Friday Locker Room, to do our own little vent sessions based on everyone else's ignorance. Maybe we're the stupid ones. Who knows? At the end of the day, we must be for watching all this shit and keeping talking about it. But what do you got going down today, man? I know new pieces of equipment, or what's the word?
No, this week is slow. No new pieces of equipment. But I am going to probably finally pull the trigger on TubeBuddy or vidIQ to try. Like we said, we're always trying to improve. We're not blaming others because of our views. Even if YouTube is doing what they're doing, I'm going to try to control my narrative on my side and see what I can improve to get more visibility on the YouTube channel, which also pushes other business with affiliate stuff and everything. And I might actually start putting up some tech stuff or start the other channel because I got quite a cool setup here with this one. You saw the thing with the multiple arms and stuff, and try to change it up and everything. Just trying to be productive tonight. I might head back to the ring. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to overdo it today, but I won't be able to get back into the ring till Monday. So I can go up there and spend another half hour, an hour, just kind of doing my own thing.
Right on.
I was going to post something, but I'm like, I'm not going to post. What I was really going to post, to be honest with you, was me saying what I said today at ringside to tell young wrestlers, listen, you might think you know everything, but I haven't done this in a little while. I'm starting all over. I got to get my footing. I got to get my timing. I got to do this and that. So keep training, keep doing what you're doing. But of course, just like the release video that I put out, I didn't want to garner any hate for giving advice. What do I know?
How dare you fucking care about people, man. But I'm glad you do, dude, because it definitely gets me through my week. And to have you as a big brother, creatively, technology wise, and to talk me down from emotional positions where I can just be a loudmouth New York asshole. I'm supremely appreciative of being a friend with you, man. It's been awesome. Not like we're signing off, but hopefully tonight we'll be back 7 p.m. if the TCH crowd, keep your ears up here at twitch.tv/Hamin Media. We want to talk about John McAfee as the conspiracy in the first 24 abounds, and we'll see if that's a pebble in the pond for something else. We got other plans, but there's some things that are undeniable, and we know you guys have been wanting it, and that's what main eventers do. We take it away so you want it more.
Well, just to let people know too that we're just, the reason it went away in the first place was because we can't get these shows out. Like last Friday, there was no kind of misinformation put out. It was an exact quote of what the policy was from the NFL, and it gets taken down and you don't get to see or hear it. And that's why by purchasing the Realm Network and attaching that with Vince, although people might think, oh, well, it was always free or this and that, well, you're not going to have an opportunity to possibly, this might get pulled down. I'm saying you're have some place to put it, to have some consumption. It's not a money play or anything like that. It's like, how else are we supposed to delay? That's why the Realm Network still exists under Vince owning it, is for people that are getting shut out and shut up to a degree now can have the voice. So it's not a thing like we're going to put it behind a paywall and finally charge. No, we can't do anything else. We've proven that, right? With our actions and what we've been allowed to not even talk about, to tell the truth of why it happened, because we don't quite know. Never get an answer.
Never. And now being banned because you're working too fast. What the fuck? Oh man, but I'll be working fast at my new job as a nuclear physicist at your local power plant. So enjoy that, you guys. I'll keep the lights on for you. Tom Bodette style. You can go to patreon.com/Hamin Media Group. Get this show as well as many others for free. I also just released episode 4, 5, 6, and 7 of that Master Shoot Theater animated at the $5 tier over there. If you weren't a Russo's brand subscriber, Russo TWC, you can get it over on ours at Hamin Media Group. We appreciate all the patrons at all levels, absolutely. And new show Developmental I just posted with Chris Pavone, Kalen Croft, great guy that I worked with in OVW. You guys know him from the Dude Busters, maybe in WWE. That was a good time. And this week we're going to have Jamin Olivencia on as well. So I'm enjoying my time working with Two-Man Power Trip, John Paz, really enjoying it today. I think we're doing a Pro Wrestling 101 today too. So, but yeah, man, it's the Friday locker room. It's Big Stevie Cool. All dick is trash, infidels. Make sure you pay for your white guilt, and you don't need to know anybody's name around here. It's me. It's Ben Hamin, and you know him very well. Stephanie.
Stevie Dick is trash.
Yeah,
Stevie Dick is trash.
Stephanie Richards. We're all here, you guys. We appreciate you. Hamin Media Group. Share it, love it, and live it. It's the Friday Locker Room, infidels. Y'all.